Hello and welcome to In the Hyperloop. Hello and welcome to In the Hyperloop. My name is Blake. Hopefully this live stream is working again. I'm still getting my feet used to this. Still getting it set up. But I wanted to talk about HARDT Hyperloop. And recently they had a really cool press release. Two Dutch provinces go head-to-head in a race to host the European Hyperloop Test Center. We have had a lot of news from other Hyperloop companies like Transpod, Virgin Hyperloop One, Hyperloop TT, with all of their test tracks all over the world. And finally, HARDT Hyperloop has kind of announced more information on their test track. And it's with Groningen and Zeeland. And if we look where Zeeland is, it's near Antwerp, just south of Amsterdam. And it's near kind of the big port city. And the other Hyperloop test track is Groningen. It's a university town and a little smaller and a little bit more rural. So it'll be interesting to see which towns have to gain. Groningen is definitely a lot more to gain from this Hyperloop center. Antwerp is just a big city and a big port area and lots of land near the coast. And it'd be interesting if the Antwerp deal has also maybe some type of benefit for the port city or something. Maybe it's more utilitarian, whereas if the test track was in Zeeland, Groningen, maybe it would just be more research. The European Hyperloop Center is kind of being kicked off. Will open 2022, and until today, 4 provinces were in the race. It was made by a committee of experts, and they give quotes from both provincial executives. Zeeland has been designated by the central government as a living lab for smart mobility. We are testing various new innovative transport options here, and we are a step closer to the realization. We look forward to meeting all the parties involved as quickly as possible. And Groningen provincial executive commented that there's a lot of movement in Groningen. We're the youngest city in Europe, and we're at the forefront of innovation solutions for major transitions such as energy, agriculture, and transport. University, companies, and authorities are working closely together on this. Test track for Hyperloop fits perfectly with this ambition. An analysis by consultancy firm Berkshot confirms that assumption. The test facility will give the region an economic impulse by, among other things, increased employment and tax revenues. As a European Knowledge Center for Sustainable Mobility, the EHC creates an attractive business climate and innovative companies. Berkshot argues that this could lead to the creation of an innovation cluster, and international attention for the EHC further contributes to the sustainable progressive image for the region. What's really interesting that I think is here, maybe I skipped over, but they're really hoping that this European Hyperloop Center is open for other companies. We know that there's been a lot of collaboration between European Hyperloop groups, but not really including Hyperloop TT or Virgin Hyperloop One. And HARDT Hyperloop wants to open this facility to other groups. So then maybe possibly HARDT Hyperloop technology can be the main technology for European Hyperloop network. Again, we've done videos really recently, like yesterday, on Transpod's test facility in Limoges that's been delayed by soil analyses, and they've also received 19 million euros in funding, which is really significant. And we don't really know when though that will happen. And for Transpod, There is also, they have another office in southern Italy, and they're receiving European funding, so they have to hire around 20 employees to fulfill that funding grant. Hyperloop Tutile in Toulouse, we haven't heard any other kind of mention about their test track. And Virgin Hyperloop 1 is also kind of running the same kind of competition where I believe it's South Carolina and also the St. Louis to Kansas City region is also trying to vie for a longer certification test track, and Kentucky or Tennessee, I forget exactly which one it was. But it's all just kind of crazy how all these regions are wanting these Hyperloop test tracks. We're just going to take a quick look at the front of the European Hyperloop Center. You know, it's pretty interesting, just one story. We really like how there's the bicycle, you know, different people with different mobility can use it, and we're going to look at the business end. We see the test track, and it's a small diameter tube. It looks a little smaller than even the tube diameter at HARDT Hyperloop in Delft. We're just going to take a quick look at the social media of HARDT Hyperloop because the tube diameter was talked about in a recent video. You should look at this too by Tata Steel, as they are sponsors of HARDT Hyperloop. And there's you see the lane switching technology, and that's the kind of a render of the tube in Delft that demonstrated the lane switching technology. And what I wanted to show you was this. Tata is developing a kind of origami-type kind of tube that will give it extra strength, and I'm guessing it will also mean that they will use less steel in the long run for the Hyperloop tube. So it's really interesting to kind of see that. So Tata Steel is clearly putting in a lot of time and energy to develop a brand new kind of tube technology. We haven't seen this with any other Hyperloop technology or company. We do know that Eurotube, a European company, is working hard on you know, a cement or some type of fibrous reinforced tube to reduce the carbon footprint. But it's interesting to see Tata creating kind of an origami structure out of steel. So that's about it. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and we hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.